Good morning. Welcome to the detention docket for the 323rd District Court for Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. Happy Texas Independence Day to everyone. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 33, we're not conducting in-person proceedings, but we are using Zoom and complied with Article 1, Section 13 of the Texas Constitution. We are conducting these proceedings and broadcasting them on YouTube so the public has meaningful access to what occurs inside a courtroom. No portion of this broadcast may be recorded or published. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and a $500 fine. This is still a court proceeding. The court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. Actually, don't see any parents on Zoom, so small docket today. All right, let's go and start with Quincy Mitchell. All right, Mr. Mitchell, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Mooney as your attorney. Good morning, Mr. Mooney. All right, so Quincy, you're 15 years old. You've never been here before. Yesterday, about 6 o'clock, Fort Worth PD responded to a stolen vehicle call on Brentwood Stair. And real time was monitoring the stolen vehicle and drove eastbound, turned onto Handley Oaks Apartments. When the officers got there, they drove through the parking lot, found the stolen vehicle in the northwest corner. When they got there, 3 people got out, backed away from the vehicle. When they're detained, Rodriguez, Wells, and Mitchell. During the arrest, officers saw one of the companions shove a backpack underneath the parked vehicle. When they got the backpack, they smelled weed. They found several boxes of THC oil, some green, loose, leafy substance, and some green leafy substance past the baggie. The weight of the oil was 19.25 grams. The weight of the marijuana was 0.65 ounces, so 30 grams or so. 20 grams or so. All right, so the companion the backpack was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. He was in the driver's seat, arrested, and the one in the driver's seat was arrested for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Quincy was the third person. There's a Terry search and found a THC cartridge box in the right pocket of his sweater. And the THC oil weighed about 5 grams. He was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, from 4 to 400 grams. All right, so we have not been able to find the parents, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. Detention intake left 2 voicemail messages for mother last night. I left her 1 this morning. We were unable to dispatch police to the residence. Apparently, the youth does not know his complete address.
Quincy, you don't know your address?
Like, I know the address, but I don't know the house number.
How long have you been living there?
Almost a year.
So you don't know the number on the street, on the mailbox, or on the front door?
No.
All right, Mr. Mooney, try and find the parents. Quincy, I need to let you know your offense, possession from 4 to 400 grams, is going to be a 2nd degree. Isn't that right, Ms. Farmer? PG2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, so you could be committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department. If this was an adult case, you could be looking at up to 20 years in prison, just so you know, all right? But this is not an adult case. Yeah, Quincy, do you have a question for me?
You said 44 grams.
Yeah, 4 to 400 grams. So you have to understand they weigh it out, and depending on the weight, that tells how much it is. This THC oil, it's not like weed, where it's a misdemeanor until you're over 2 ounces or over 4 ounces. The THC oil is a felony, so even under a gram can get you prison time. All right, so it's serious. But anyways, Quincy, I don't know where your parents are. I'm not going to put a 15-year-old boy out on the street. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and detain you. Hopefully, we can find your parent and figure out where to go from here. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, and Mr. Mitchell, if you can come up with an address, please tell Mr. Lewis, because I don't want you here. All right. So if you're holding out on me, don't do that. That doesn't help you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Judge.
Taisha Lozano. Hi, Taisha. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. The law says when a child's brought to a facility, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We've appointed Mr. Sierra as your attorney. So, Taisha, let's see. You've never been here before. You're 15 years old. Well, hold on a second. Back in December 30th of last year, okay, you were referred out of custody for theft of property. You're saying on December 21st, they were dispatched at Dillard's about, I guess, a shoplifting. You and evidently Callie took merchandise, went outside the store. It was worth $419. So you're given criminal trespass warning and released to your mom. And then before that, March of 2019, Fort Worth PD referred you out of custody for an assault. Seems like you and another student were reported to the SRO. The reports indicates that you walked up to the victim, started pulling her hair, and you hit her and caused a scratch. So March of 2019, you have an assault case. December of 20, now you have a shoplifting case. And then yesterday, about 9 o'clock in the morning, deputies were dispatched to a domestic. They could hear argument from outside. When they went in, you went to the police and told them to take you since this B made my boyfriend leave. Deputies learned that you had a boyfriend over. Mom thought you were smoking weed, so she made you leave and would not allow you to leave, made him leave, would not allow you to leave with him. And so they're saying that you tried to assault your mom. Brother had to stop you by holding you down. And both mom and brother reported that you threatened to kill them. They did not have injuries, but they thought there may be more violence, so you were brought here, and your mom failed to appear for several intakes. All right, so we do not have a parent here, correct?
We do, Judge.
Oh, we do. All right, so mom, my question, do you speak English, mom?
Mom, speak.
Judge, I'm in the room. With
Okay.
Mom, I can translate.
Can you ask her why she didn't show up for court before?
Mamá, el juez quiere saber por qué no llegaste a esa corte anterior.
Es que como yo no sé nada en inglés, no sé nada de eso. O
Your
sea,
Honor,
ahorita que me están
She
diciendo.
said that because she doesn't speak English, she wasn't aware of what the situation was exactly.
Was she told to come to court?
¿Le avisaron a usted que venga para corte?
No.
She says no.
Okay, so
Judge, if I may,
yes.
letters were mailed out to families for intake and they didn't appear. And I see the notes from one prior officer that phone contact was made with the parent, and that was a bilingual worker.
Okay, can you explain that to mom, please?
I did, Judge, in the lobby.
Okay. No, I mean, whoever's in the courtroom.
El señor Higueros nomás avisó a usted. Avisó al juez lo que le dijo a usted anterior.
Sí.
Okay, so I'm being told that she received phone calls and talked to somebody, and she's still saying that she didn't know about court?
Y el juez está diciendo que usted recibió letras por correo y usted todavía está diciendo que no agarró noticia para corte.
No, es que no llegué, no leí nada de la corte.
Your Honor, she said she didn't read any letters of the court. Pero también está diciendo que
creo que
recibió
ella como ella siempre tenía mi celular, yo creo que ella no me decía lo de las cortes.
quien tenía el celular.
Mi hija Taisha.
Your Honor, she says that as far as phone calls go, that her daughter usually had the cell phone, and that's why she never received those calls.
Okay. Who's that in the courtroom? Is that Daniel?
This is George.
Jorge, okay, Jorge, if you can get on camera and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that you will make a true translation of the statements of the court, the questions of counsel, and the testimony to be given by the witness in the matter now on trial to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You can lower your hand. Could you please ask the mother to raise her right hand?
Así puedes levantar la mano derecha.
I'm going to ask her, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give, will you tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jurar que vas a decir toda la verdad y nomás la verdad, nomás Dios te puede ayudar.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, she can lower her hand.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to let her know. This point, I'm going to go and detain Taisha because this is getting out of control. and I'm not sure why she's not getting the supervision at home. Taisha, I don't know if that you've just got an attitude problem or your mom's just not supervising you, but at this point, you just don't get a pass on this one. You don't get to walk. Not once you're picking up all these offenses, all right? The next thing I say is to mom is that not only have I sworn you as a witness, but when I do release your daughter to you, because I will release her, is that you need to bring her to court when you're instructed to go to court. If you don't, I can issue a warrant for your arrest and you would stay here in custody until your daughter's case is done, possibly. Also, if I release your daughter and you fail to bring your daughter to court, I can issue a warrant for you. You could be, I'm sorry, Jorge, do you want a chance to translate that first?
Yes, I'm translating quietly.
Okay. Okay. And then if I release her to you and you take your daughter from here and you fail to bring your daughter to court, I could issue a warrant for your arrest and you would be held here until we found your daughter.
Y más dijo, pues como dije, va a haber un orden de arresto si no la traes para atrás para corte, si llegamos a ser parte, pero también un orden de arresto para ella si no viene a corte.
Okay. So at this point, Taisha, let's see what your behavior level's like. If you can fix your attitude and start following the rules and do what you're supposed to do. But if your mom's telling the truth that you're taking the phone calls and not telling your mom about court, I've got a big problem with that. And I'm honestly, I think you won't show up for court. You'll try and avoid court again in the future like you have in the past. All right, so Taisha, get your behavior level to level and outstanding, and we'll revisit this in 10 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Guerrero.
Sí, sí que es para allá para la señora que le toca.
Nathaniel Nix.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'm the appeal for Nathaniel Nix, and he was out of custody. He hasn't showed up.
he has not showed up. All right, well,
And I got in contact with his grandma. He did show up home, and then he ran out the house as soon as he was told that he was gonna come to court.
okay, well, he will be here next time.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Herrick.
Issuing a directive to apprehend for him?
I beg your pardon?
Is it fair to assume you're going to issue a directive to apprehend for him?
Oh, yeah, he'll appear from custody next time.
I understand.
Thank you, Ms. Herrick. I think that's your only one today, so
I
have a
think
good
it is
day.
as well. Thank you, you too.
We have Jarinez Wells. Yes. All right, Mr. Wells, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 business days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or to let you go. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. So in 2019, you're brought in on 2 counts of robbery, which the DA rejected the cases. And then now, this is the one where Fort Worth PD found a stolen car, went to an apartment complex, 3 juveniles exiting, walking away, and there's a backpack hidden under a car. So they saw you place an object or a bag below a nearby parked vehicle. So they searched it, found several THC cartridges, loose marijuana, baggie of marijuana, and your grandmother's in the hospital. So, all right. So, Mr. Wells, first thing I let you know, this would be a second degree, 400 grams. So, yeah, whenever you have even under a gram of THC oil, that's a felony level offense. If you're an adult, you could be looking at up to 20 years in prison for this. All right. The fact that you're juvenile, you're not, but I can still commit you to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department based on your case. I'm just really expecting you to show me that this is just a poor decision and that you're going to set your life straight. Meanwhile, since your grandmother's in the hospital, there's no adult to take possession of you, so I can't just put you out on the street. Mr. Wells, can you tell me where your mom is?
She in the hospital in Mansfield.
No, you're not your grandmother, but your mother.
She in the hospital somewhere.
Oh, so your mother and grandmother are both in the hospital?
Yeah, because I don't know, she did something. I don't know what she did.
I'm sorry?
She did something. I don't know what she did.
Who did something?
My mother.
Your mother did something, but so she's in the hospital?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
When's the last time you saw your mom?
I can't remember.
I mean, was it this year? Was it last year? It's been a while? Okay. All right. Why is your grandmother in the hospital?
No,
How long she's been in the hospital? And when's the last time you saw your grandmother?
like 3 days ago.
So who's been taking care of you for the last 3 days?
Me,
Okay. You know, Ms. Paxton, Mr. Willett, I think we need to get the department involved in this. All right. I mean, I don't want to. Yes, Ms. Paxton?
I'm sorry, I did talk to the grandmother this morning,
Okay.
and she is still in the hospital. She said that she could probably be at the next detention hearing. So she's not. I asked her where he's been staying since she's been in the hospital. She said with his family. I didn't ask for more details, but
Yeah.
that's what she told me. So
I think that's probably what she's been told, but I'm kind of suspect. Mr. Willett, your suggestion?
Yeah, well, can I ask him a question?
Sure.
Janice, who have you been staying with, your aunt or somebody else, or just by yourself?
no, I've been staying with my grandmother. I stay with.
Well,
I stay
well,
with
it can't
my
be your
grandmother.
it can't be your grandmother because she's in the hospital.
Like I ain't been home in like 3 days.
You haven't been home in 3 days? So where have you been?
On the street.
Okay, well, you know the judge is not going to allow that, and no one wants that to happen either. No one wants you out on the street. Okay, Your Honor, that's what I want to know. Obviously, something's got to be done because he can't be living out on the street.
I think so. And I'm not sure that I really want him here. The other child, the co-companion, I felt like we're just trying to find mom. I think he was being distruthful to me by saying he didn't know his address number.
But I heard that.
Yeah, so that's why I was holding him, because I think as soon as he tells us, I think he's probably trying to hide this from his mom, was my gut reaction.
Mhm.
This one, I don't think he has supervision. I mean, I don't want to call the department, but I think this is what the department's for, right?
Right.
So
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so Ms. Paxton, let's go ahead and call DFPS
Yeah.
and then get them involved, and they can hopefully find like a short term until grandma gets out of the hospital. All right.
okay, will
All right.
do.
So, Mr. Wells, I'm going to let you know. Look, whoever you're hanging out with, living on the streets, that's not a place. I need you to jump back on the porch. All right. You and I will tell you, I've been doing this long enough that if you want to insist on living on the streets, you and I are going to deal with each other for years and years and years. And you don't want to do that because it's miserable. Honestly, if you want to try and live that life, fighting the law, you got to go to a different county, because here in Tarrant County, the law always wins. All right. So just either get your act together and just be respectful and do what you're supposed to do and take care of your business. But man, if you want to jump off the porch, it's going to be tough for you. I'm just kind of giving you that warning right now. All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wells. All right. James Atkins. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. At this point, these proceedings have been broadcast to the public under the Open Course Act. However, under Texas Family Code 54.08C, whenever proceedings involve a child under the age of 14 years old, proceedings are presumed to be closed to the public unless the court finds the interests of the child or the interests of the public are better served by opening the proceedings to the public. So, unable to make such a finding, I'm now going to discontinue the live stream of this detention hearing. And there's 20 seconds or 30 seconds for a tape delay. I say tape delay, but I mean, who's taped something? Yeah. It's like when you say I'm gonna hang up, right? Nobody hangs up a phone anymore. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Roll up the window, yeah.
You want to keep Jared from 5 days or more than 10?
I don't know. We'll find out. Or is it the